From the rivalries between brothers to rising future stars to Ronaldo's brother, who is rumored to be even better than Cristiano as a kid. Here are footballers who have secret footballing brothers. Because firstly, Jude Bellingham has a forgotten brother who hates living in his brother's shadow. Bellingham is the name on everyone's lips right now, but it's Jude Bellingham that everyone is talking about. But whilst everyone was watching Jude's rise to the top, his brother wasn't so successful. Jobe Bellingham had broken into the first team at Birmingham City, but was struggling. The team was fighting relegation in the championship, and Jobe was getting little chance to show his talent. He couldn't take risks and was yet to score his first goal. And everywhere he went, he was just known as Jude Bellingham's brother. Even the commentators called him that.
And a notable moment here for Jobe Bellingham, the 16-year-old brother of Jude.
He was sick of the comparison, but in summer of 2023, he transferred to Sunderland, and that changed everything.
It's given away. Bellingham, 25-yard, lines it up and drills it into the back of the net. Oh, he's talented. He's very, very talented.
Jobe Bellingham is now a promising youngster. He's still just 19 years old, and he's ready to make his own name in the game. He's even had Jobe put on the back of his shirt instead of Bellingham to help him make his own name in the game. And he's already been linked to clubs like Arsenal and Man United, so it seems only a matter of time until Jobe gets his big move, especially when he's scoring bangers like this every week.
It's in for Bellingham. Jobe Bellingham! It's brilliant! A moment of magic from Jobe Bellingham.
But here's a story about one of the world's best players you've definitely never heard of. Cristiano Ronaldo might be one of the greatest players in history, but his older brother, Hugo Aveiro, was rumored to be even greater. Hugo is 10 years older than Ronaldo, and back when they were young, both Ronaldo and his brother Hugo were ballers. And Ronaldo's older brother might have even been more talented. When their childhood friend gave an interview in 2015, he said everyone who knew Hugo said he was a better footballer than Ronaldo. They said he was a different kind of footballer. Hugo played as a left-footed striker in the informal street leagues of Santo Antonio. He would play against older men, and his talent stood out. But his childhood friends said he was a street footballer, played against his friends in an amateur way. Whilst Cristiano was a professional, he played in academies, working with coaches and managers. And Hugo's career wasn't helped by his diet and lifestyle. Because he dreamed of being a professional, but his life took a very different path. While Cristiano was becoming a pro player, Hugo was fighting other battles. You see, he was a heavy drinker when he was younger, and he soon became an alcoholic. It was a tough time for him and the Ronaldo family. But in 2014, Ronaldo might have saved his brother's life. Before the 2014 Champions League final against Atletico Madrid, Cristiano and Hugo made a deal. If Cristiano won the Champions League that year with Madrid, then Hugo would give up alcohol. Both agreed. It gave Ronaldo even more motivation to win the game. And when Real Madrid beat Atletico 4-1 in the final, Hugo had no choice but to honor his side of the deal, and he stopped drinking. And it didn't end there. Because Ronaldo has since paid for his brother's rehabilitation program and given him a job to help his career. And whilst Ronaldo continues to bang in the goals, Hugo is now sober and now works as a manager for Ronaldo's museum in Madeira. That's a story that shows the love Ronaldo has for his brother. But Kylian Mbappe isn't the only Mbappe the world should be watching, because his younger brother, Ethan Mbappe, is on track to become a top midfielder. And in the Champions League recently, Ethan and his team shocked his brother Kylian. At 18 years old, Ethan is 8 years younger than Kylian. And whilst he was impressing at PSG, Ethan was developing his skill in the PSG Academy as a talented midfielder. But after struggling to make his name in Paris, he signed for Lille. He was just breaking through into the first team when Lille were due to play his brother's team, Real Madrid, in the Champions League. But unfortunately, Ethan was injured for the match, but he was still there to support his team and cheer them on against his own brother. Real Madrid hadn't lost in 36 games, and with Mbappe, Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo up front, it looked impossible for Lille to get a win. But this happened.
Jonathan David for Lille scores! Lille lead Real Madrid.
Ethan Mbappe came out on top because Lille managed to stop Mbappe and bag a 1-0 win against last season's champions. They had pulled off a shock win, and Kylian was left annoyed in the tunnel, while Ethan and Lille were left celebrating a moment they'll never forget. But this Man United star has brothers making big moves in Germany, because Rasmus Hojlund isn't the only Hojlund making waves in football. He's got two younger twin brothers that are impressing at some big clubs in Germany. First, there's Oscar Hojlund, just a year younger than Rasmus. Last summer, he secured a big move to Eintracht Frankfurt, where he's been turning heads as a talented midfielder. His vision and passing ability has been instrumental in helping Frankfurt have a strong season so far. Whilst his twin, Emil Hojlund, is also a year younger. He's recently signed for Schalke and is following in Rasmus's footsteps as a center forward. With his clinical finishing and physicality, Emil has been catching the eye just like his brother. And with Man United's form this season, maybe Rasmus should bring his brothers over to help rebuild the team. But these brothers became rivals overnight because Lucas and Theo Hernandez both came through the Atletico Madrid academy as high prospects and ready to lead the Atletico Madrid defense in the future. But in 2017, one brother betrayed his club and his brother. Atletico's biggest rivals, Real Madrid, came in with a €24 million bid for Theo Hernandez, and he wanted to go, which left Atletico fans angry and his brother betrayed. The move was very controversial, but things didn't turn out as you'd expect. Because Theo flopped at Real Madrid. He only made 11 starts in La Liga and was back up to Marcelo for most of the season. It wasn't long before he was loaned out to Real Sociedad. It was starting to look like betraying his brother and Atletico was the wrong decision. But for Lucas, who stayed loyal to Atletico, things were going great. He became a top defender and went on to win the Europa League and even got a call up to the France squad where he won the World Cup. He was a huge success at Atletico, so good that it wasn't long before big money started calling.
Kimmich's corner is headed in. Now they're shining. Lucas Hernandez.
And in 2019, he became Bayern Munich's most expensive signing ever for a whopping $80 million. And it did eventually turn out good for both brothers because Theo soon signed for AC Milan, where he also became a world-class defender.
From Theo Hernandez, fantastic! A magnificent goal!
And finally got his call up to the France squad to play with his brother. Despite club rivalries, the brothers haven't let it tear them apart. But one of England's and Man United's best ever players has a brother playing football that I bet you never even heard of. Everyone knows Wayne Rooney, but I bet you never heard of his younger brother, John Rooney. John is 5 years younger than Wayne and plays as an attacking midfielder. Whilst Wayne rose to fame at Everton at 16 before signing for Manchester United, John Rooney's journey has been a little different. Because he started in the Everton Academy with Wayne, but when he never made it into the first team, he signed for Macclesfield Town in non-league, and he'd spent his career in the lower leagues playing for teams like Chester, Wrexham, and Stockport County. But that didn't stop him scoring some bangers like his brother.
Well won by John Rooney, who gets his head up, and he's going to go for it here, and Button, who's not going to get there! Remarkable goal!
But Harry Maguire's brother is just like a clone of him, because he's also a no-nonsense defender. Only he plays 4 divisions below. Laurence Maguire is 4 years younger than Harry and plays as a center-back for MK Dons in League 2. He signed on a free transfer, a little less than the £80 million Man United paid for Harry Maguire. And Laurence plays almost like a clone of him on the pitch. Just like Harry, he loves a crunching slide tackle, sometimes too much. But whilst he can tackle like his brother, I bet he couldn't score a banger like this.
Fancied it. Oh, Harry Maguire from miles out from Manchester United. executed. That settles nerves beautifully.
Harry Maguire!
But if you want to see some more great videos, make sure you click on one of these. And make sure to subscribe.